My name is Scott Moore and you are watching W.A.C.Outdoors. I had a successful hog hunt last night. I didn't have enough light to get any video. I was shooting video. I got audio and no video. The 2012 hunting season has been a strange season for me. I have had some pretty good success, but I did not do a very good job of capturing any of my hunts on video. But I just wanted to share with you what I could of this hunt. I shot the hog at dark. I chose not to try to track that hog in the dark because it was about 38, 39 degrees. It was pretty cold overnight. I decided to come track this hog in the daylight. And I thought I'd go ahead and turn the camera on and bring you along with me and point out a few tips that might help some of you successfully track your game in the future. So you stick with me. I'm going to grab the camera and we're going to take a look and see if we can't find this hog. Alright, the first thing that I'm seeing here is the moss and pine needles are scuffed up here going down over the break of this hill. There's hog rooting everywhere, but this is not hog rooting. This is definitely some hooves kind of splaying and sliding around. It's the best indication, the first thing I've seen that would give me a feeling that the hog that I shot last night headed this direction. So we're going to move forward here a little ways and see what we can see. Alright, I've traveled in the general direction that those scuff marks indicated to me that the hog probably went. And I've gone about 20 yards and I have not found one thing on the ground to indicate any blood sign. But if you look here, I've got a small pine tree and about 2 foot off the ground I have a smear of blood on this pine tree. So that's a pretty good indicator to me that my hog has gone this direction. It's the first real good sign I've seen. So we're going to continue on. Matter of fact, I just now saw the arrow. Bear with me here. Okay, the arrow's laying right there. That arrow's got some good blood on it from point to knock. So things are looking up pretty good here. There's still really no blood on the ground. Just saw that one smear. Okay, we just found the arrow and I took a good look at it. And it's very obvious that this arrow passed completely through the hog. It's covered with good bright blood from point to knock. Good indication of a good solid hit. But I have gone 30 yards, maybe 40 yards from where I've actually shot and hit the hog. Other than that smear of blood on the little pine tree, the only blood that I found on the ground, I don't know if you can pick this up on the video, I've got one little drop of blood on a leaf that is smaller than my fingernail. So if you're going to take up the sport of bow hunting, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you will be tracking the animals that you shoot. And the amount of blood on the ground is not necessarily an indicator of what type of hit that you've made. So when we take it upon ourselves to be bow hunters and shoot these animals, we have to be prepared to utilize every resource available to us to pursue, track, and recover these animals. So just stick with it. We're going to keep going and see if we can't find this thing. Alright, a half hour of time has elapsed and I have just, from that little spot of blood that I found, just taken likely routes of travel based on the terrain, looking for scuffed leads, looking for scuffed up, turned over soil, moss, sticks, and I found this little bit of blood right here. And again, it is absolutely not much. I found that good splotch of blood right there. And from here, I have some pretty thick terrain. This is absolutely not going to be easy. But what I'm going to do is I am going to, based on the fact that the leaves were scuffed up, indicating the animal's a little bit weak maybe, and I'm going to assume he's taking the course of least resistance. There's 3 gullies right here in front of me, and I'm going to start working down all 3 of these gullies and just see what I can find. Alright, I got a gully on each side of me, and I've gone down both gullies just a little ways. There's a lot of scuff marks and dirt kicked up in both gullies, but there's also a whole lot of hogs in this area. I didn't find any blood. So I got up on the little ridge between the 2 gullies, and I found this leaf right here. It's got some blood on it. But you can see where the blood hit the leaf and splattered. And the way the blood splattered when it hit the leaf is the direction that this hog was moving. And from what this blood splatter on this leaf is telling me, the hog went right down this real skinny razorback ridge right between these 2 gullies. So I'm going to head down the ridge here, looking off on both sides in the gullies, and see what we can see. One very important thing that I want to point out as you're tracking a game animal that's wounded and they start to meander and go back and forth, it's really easy to lose track of the trail, lose track of the last sign that you found, and also lose track of yourself and where you're at. What I've been doing back behind me as I go, every time I find a good bit of sign that I'm convinced is from the animal I'm tracking, I hang a piece of surveyor's tape. And as I look back the direction that I have come, I can look up the hill and I can see my tape, and I get a real good idea then of a line of travel. So I have a pretty good idea as I look back up the hill to kind of know what direction to go back down the hill, continuing to look for more sign. Alright, I've just found some real fresh hog droppings. Matter of fact, I smelled them before I saw them. This again sometimes is a good indicator of the animal that you're trying to track and follow. I'm just going to head straight down this ridge now and just see if I can see him. Alright, we got a hog laying right here in the bottom of this little gully. I'm very happy to see this thing laying here. We'll get down here, we'll take a good look at it. Well, we found this hog. I brought you along with me to look for it. I hope the information was of use to you. Hit the hog right here, which kind of looks a little far back, but the hog was quartering away from me. So that hit proved very effective. The entry wound was high enough off the bottom that not a lot of blood was getting placed on the ground. But just when you go bow hunting and you shoot an animal, just hang in there, pay attention to all your sign, be diligent about looking for your animal, pay attention to everything around you other than, just blood on the ground. And pay attention to the terrain, the lay of the land, where the animal would most likely go. And I just hope this helped you a lot. I'm really excited about this hog. As always, I thank God for him. It's one of his creatures that he's provided for us, and I just thank you for it.